The terrifying confrontation and a troubling promotion. Dr. Maya Carter, an FBI special agent, has a gun pressed to her temple while her children scream in the background. The officer, Brian Reynolds, dismisses her claim to be an agent. Unbeknownst to him, hidden cameras are recording the entire encounter. The story then rewinds 6 months earlier. We meet Maya, a single mother to Zora, 12, and Marcus, 7, on a rare day off. Her goal is to take her children to the community pool in their affluent Atlanta suburb, Oakwood Heights. Despite the day's promise of peace, her mind is heavy with the recent promotion she received. As a Black woman in a leadership position at the FBI, she's faced thinly veiled resentment from colleagues and daily microaggressions in her predominantly white neighborhood. A text from her confidential informant warns her to watch her back as her new case, a high-profile investigation into a sophisticated drug trafficking operation with ties to local government, has put her in danger. Feeling uneasy, Maya retrieves her service weapon from her gun safe and places it discreetly in her purse. As they leave, she notices a suspicious dark sedan parked across the street and takes an intentionally evasive route to the pool. Upon arriving at the Oakwood Heights pool, Maya is immediately met with hostility. The attendant scrutinizes her membership card with suspicion, a stark contrast to the effortless entry of white families. This discriminatory treatment is a familiar burden, and Zora, with a wisdom beyond her years, recognizes it for what it is. Maya reassures her children that they must hold their heads high. As they try to enjoy their afternoon, a woman named Patricia Sullivan, the president of the neighborhood association, approaches them. She questions Maya's residency and demands additional proof of identity, publicly challenging her right to be there. The situation escalates as a male lifeguard suggests they might be more comfortable let the public pool downtown, making it clear whose side he's on. Just as Maya decides to stand her ground, her phone buzzes with a new text from her FBI partner, David Chen. The message is an urgent warning. Urgent. We have a situation with the case. Your cover may be... The text cuts off abruptly, leaving Maya with the terrifying suspicion that this seemingly random act of racial profiling is connected to the very case she's working on. Her fears are confirmed when two police cruisers arrive with flashing lights sent in response to Patricia's call. The situation at the pool quickly spirals out of control. Officer Brian Reynolds arrives with an aggressive and condescending demeanor, demanding Maya's identification without cause. When Maya calmly explains that her ID is in her purse and she's going to get it, Reynolds grabs her arm, twisting it painfully and shoving her against the fence. As her children cry out in fear, Patricia Sullivan snatches Zora's phone, which was recording the incident, claiming it's private property. After roughly patting Maya down, Reynolds discovers her service weapon in her purse. He immediately draws his own gun and forces her to the ground, scraping her cheek against the concrete. Despite the indignity, Maya clearly states she's an FBI agent and her credentials are in her purse. Reynolds dismisses this as a lie, even when his younger partner, Officer James Wilson, confirms he's found a badge. Reynolds places Maya in handcuffs, muttering that she's resisting arrest and threatening an officer. The arrival of a police supervisor, Sergeant Thomas Miller, offers a small glimmer of hope. Maya subtly activates her emergency signal on her FBI watch, alerting her headquarters. She also manages to mouth a message to Zora to call Angela, her best friend and a civil rights attorney. As they're about to put Maya in the police car, Marcus has an asthma attack. The medical emergency forces Sergeant Miller to intervene and call headquarters to verify Maya's identity, which is quickly confirmed. Reynolds reluctantly uncuffs her but warns her that this isn't over and that someone needs to teach her a lesson. When Maya and her children arrive home, they discover their house has been ransacked. Her personal laptop is missing, and a chilling note left in Marcus's stuffed dinosaur reads, "Back off the Riverside case, or next time it won't just be your house we visit. Your children look so peaceful when they sleep." The pool incident was not a random act of racism, but a calculated diversion to keep her occupied while her house was being searched. The investigation into the break in quickly reveals that it was a sophisticated operation. The security system had been professionally disabled and reset. Maya's worst fears are confirmed when a message from her informant reveals that someone inside the department leaked her address. The informant also drops a bombshell. Officer Brian Reynolds had previously been personal security for Councilman James Sullivan, a key figure in Maya's drug trafficking investigation. Maya immediately recognizes the connection to Patricia Sullivan, the woman from the pool. While her friend Angela, the civil rights attorney, prepares to file formal complaints, the teen who gave Zora the video of the incident, Emma Sanders, faces backlash from her community. The video, which now has millions of views, has put her family in danger, but they refuse to back down. The situation takes an even more dangerous turn when Officer Wilson, who had been gathering evidence against Reynolds, is found beaten unconscious. A forensic analysis of Reynolds' body cam reveals it was manually disabled before he arrived at the pool, proving the confrontation was premeditated. Cell tower data also shows he received a call from Councilman Sullivan's aide before Patricia confronted Maya. Maya immediately recognizes the connection to Patricia Sullivan, the woman from the pool. The conspiracy is now undeniable, and the threats against her children escalate. A text message with specific details about her children's whereabouts forces her to send them away for their safety. The stakes have never been higher. Maya and her team continue to build their case. They find evidence of payoffs to officials, proving that Reynolds is part of a larger organized criminal network. Meanwhile, Officer Wilson, now recovering from his injuries, agrees to testify, explaining that Reynolds is part of a group of officers who believe they are above the rules. He reveals a culture of systemic corruption and cover-ups within the police department. As the conspiracy deepens, Maya realizes that someone inside the FBI may be compromised, as her case files are being subtly altered. This prompts her to create a separate, secure file to document all the evidence. The threats against her children escalate to an unbearable level when a man tries to pick up Marcus from school, forcing Maya to take drastic measures to ensure her family's safety. Realizing she can no longer just react to their moves, Maya decides to set a trap. She feeds false information through channels she suspects are compromised, leading the corrupt network to believe she's meeting a new informant at an abandoned warehouse. As the network prepares to spring their ambush, Maya personally leads a smaller team to conduct surveillance on Reynolds. Using specialized listening equipment, they record a chilling conversation between Reynolds, Councilman Sullivan, and the Russian drug distributor Anton Klov. The recording not only confirms their criminal enterprise, but also exposes their plan to silence Maya permanently that very night. With irrefutable evidence of a criminal conspiracy in hand, the FBI launches a series of coordinated dawn raids. The operation is a stunning success, leading to 23 arrests, including Councilman Sullivan and key members of the drug trafficking organization. However, Officer Brian Reynolds manages to evade capture. As the corruption network crumbles, Maya's concern for her family intensifies. Her worst fears are realized when she receives a frantic call from her sister. Reynolds has found them and taken them hostage. Defying direct orders from her superiors to wait for the hostage response team, Maya slips away from her security detail, knowing her children don't have time to spare. She approaches the house alone, using her FBI training and intimate knowledge of her family's home to gain a tactical advantage. She finds Reynolds holding her sister and children at gunpoint, ranting about betrayal and conspiracies. Maya uses her negotiation skills, slowly drawing him into conversation and getting him to reveal the full extent of the conspiracy, including how they tracked her every move, even within the FBI. He confesses that they had her case files monitored from day one and that the pole confrontation was a planned intimidation tactic. The standoff reaches its most volatile point when Reynolds grabs Marcus and holds a gun to his head, demanding that Maya come with him as insurance. Thinking quickly, Maya lies, telling Reynolds that federal agents are already surrounding the house with snipers ready to fire. The lie creates just enough hesitation for her to act. She shouts a pre-planned command to Marcus, who drops to the floor just as Maya lunges forward. Her FBI combat training allows her to disarm and subdue the much larger man. Just as Maya has him pinned, Sergeant Miller emerges from the hallway with his own weapon drawn. For a terrifying moment, Maya wonders if he is part of the conspiracy. But her fears are unfounded. Miller calmly secures Reynolds' weapon and calls in the rest of his team, revealing that the FBI had been right behind Maya the whole time. In the aftermath, the full scope of the corruption network is exposed. It extends far beyond Reynolds and Sullivan, revealing connections to judges, prosecutors, and even an assistant district attorney. The Justice Department places the entire police department under federal oversight. It is revealed that Sergeant Miller had been gathering evidence against Reynolds for months, waiting for the right moment to act. The Oakwood Heights Association is disbanded, and Emma Sanders, the teenage witness, receives a commendation for her courage. Officer Wilson, now recovered, becomes a vocal advocate for police reform, testifying that the problem is not just bad apples, but the systems that protect them. Maya is showered with commendations for her work, but when offered a prestigious promotion, she declines. She decides instead to lead a new initiative focused on police integrity and systemic reform, believing she can make a greater difference from within. The true test of her success lies in her children's recovery. Marcus works with a child psychologist to overcome his fear of police, while Zora channels her anger into positive action, starting a youth advocacy group and declaring her intention to become a civil rights attorney. The family moves to a diverse neighborhood where they begin to heal and build a new life. Justice is served not only for Maya's family, but for the entire community. Patricia Sullivan and her husband face multiple charges, and in court, Patricia finally acknowledges the harm she caused. She admits that she didn't see Maya as a person, but as an intrusion into a space she wrongly believed belonged only to people who looked like me. 1 year later, Maya watches her children play happily at the community pool, now a genuinely welcoming place. The community council has a new, diverse board, and Emma, the brave teenager, is now a lifeguard there. Maya reflects on the change, acknowledging that it requires constant vigilance. In her final testimony before a congressional hearing, she sums up the powerful lesson of her ordeal. The question isn't whether such abuses occur, but whether we have the courage to confront them, not just when they happen to someone with power, but when they happen to anyone.